Hi folks, John Cordisco here. Round 10, the last round of the Gibraltar Tradewise Chess Festival 2016. This is the Masters section. As you saw in the previous video, Maxime Vacher-Lagrave won his game. Bentala, Harry Krishner, and a couple others drew their games. So this is the big game. As white, my buddy from the United States, Carl Nakamura, and David Anton, I believe is from Spain, is black. Now, David's played very well here. He's in the hunt as well. Carl has to win this game in order to tie Lagrave for first place. Let's see how it goes. Nakamura is white, Anton is black. It's going to be a Dutch, which is always fun. C4, knight f6. We'll go through the opening here. I'm not sure what kind of Dutch this is. I'll just call it a classical, regular Dutch. H4, Bishop G7. Carl's played this a couple of times. I think the Dutch is really cool. Maybe I should play that against D4 instead of the. I've been trying to play the Grunfeld, but just too many lines, just too tough. Long castle, C6. Probably stopping the knight from coming here. Carl plays knight to h3, knight f8. That's a fairly typical move in the Dutch. e3. What the Dutch is really about is the e5 square. Now, with the f-pawn being here, black can't control that. If somehow white can get an e5 move in with the pawn, black's in a lot of trouble. Queen a5. Carl moves his king over. Knight e6, hitting the bishop. Bishop goes to e2. All right. It's a game. Bishop d7. Bishop takes. Bishop takes. g4. Big shocker, right? A Carl being aggressive. That's just him. That's his style. That's the way it is. Castle's long. Interesting. Well, who'd want to castle into that mess? And G takes. And G takes. Bishop D3. Temporarily, that pawn is undefended. But Anton decided to move his king instead. And that is the first choice on the computer. This guy's... I mean, Anton is 26-31. I mean, you got to be kidding. It's no slouch. King b8, knight to e2. Those of you that are wondering about taking the pawn, after knight takes, hitting the queen, rook has to take, bishop takes. And black wins. So those free pawns aren't so free. That's the tactic. Yeah, this pawn's undefended, but now the knight can hit the queen. A bishop takes h4. Bishop takes. Little different this time. Bishop comes back. e4. I think black has done well. I think the kid has done well. If you saw him, he's probably in his 20s. He looks about 15 to look at him. He's got this baby face. Those of you that were wondering, instead of e4, maybe bishop takes h7. After knight to f8, bishop moves. Rook takes, bishop takes, and white loses. Simple as that. After e4, c5, really ballsy, moving that pawn in front of your king. d5, knight comes to c7. What's the Carl going to do here? How do you attack on the king side while disrupting your own castle position? We'll have to see. Bishop takes, rook takes, f4. Now, I don't like that rook on d7. I don't think it does anything. Can't really be threatened either, but the point is, it's kind of worthless there. Anton goes rook h to d8. That's an interesting move there. I'm not really sure why he did that. He really can't make any kind of d5 break in the future, but that's what he did. Knight f2, b5. Now he's going for it. That's pretty gutsy. Knight to g4. Carl just ignores it. Bishop h8. Now rook takes. Queen to b4. And here's the problem. Let's go back here a couple of moves. It's about a point and a half advantage at knight to g4. He's got to play b takes c4. But I think he's just too timid. Maybe he's intimidated by a Carl. I really don't know. I mean, who wouldn't be? He probably should have played b takes, queen takes, rook to g8. It's not that great for black, but it's better than what happened. Because after rook takes, queen to b4, knight e3, and a Carl's position is looking better and better and better. a6, I think he should have broke with e5. And after rook takes, f5. It really sucks for black. I'll be perfectly straight with you, but I think it's better than the way it turned out. After a6, a3, queen a5, knight f5. And I think black's attack is just doesn't have one. Rook e8. If bishop f6, which seems like a natural move, e5. Then after pawn takes, bishop takes, knight takes. And black is just doomed. After rook to e8, e5. Anyway, that's the final touch, folks, right there. Pawn takes, rook d to h1. Carl just ignores it. Knight to b5. It's over. a4. And that's where David Anton is black resigns. To give you an idea, after queen goes to d8, pawn takes. I mean, what's he going to do here? Absolutely stymied. He's going to lose a piece on h8 minimum. And the queen moves, pawn takes, queen e4. It's just a disaster for black. So well done by Carl. Manages to win. So Hikaru Nakamura and Maxime Vachier-Lagrave tie. And they have a rapid and a blitz tiebreak games to determine the winner. So look for those in the future. But this is the last game in the last round. And defending champion of the Gibraltar Tradewise Chess Festival, Hikaru Nakamura, ties for first with Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. Look for those games coming up. I'm not going to spoil who wins. You'll have to wait and see. And remember, folks, if you think chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.